It's September and it's time to shop my stash. Every month I say I'm gonna do less. Every ding dang month, and here I am. Another big giant basket of makeup. Let's dig into it and see what the wheel of death picked. Hey howdy, hey y'all, Leanna here. Labor Day is over and I was finally able to sit down and shop my stash and pick out all of my makeup. I'm going to take everything out of the basket and then we'll go over each item. Some of the products from my Shop My Stash for September I actually have on my face. I'm not sure which video will go up first. Probably be the Shop My Stash. But once I upload my look, I will have that up in the iCard for anybody that's interested. Where do I start? Because my desk is full, once again, of makeup. I guess we will kind of go in the order of which I put it on my face. I have all of my products in different spreadsheets. I have all of my inventory in Excel form spreadsheets, and I upload them into a spin the wheel. I call it the wheel of death. And this is the second or third month that I have let the wheel of death pick my products. And for face primers, it picked the Touch and Soul Pretty Filter Icy Sherbet primer, and I have used this primer before. I do like it. I know that Ash from Makeup and Chaos really likes this primer too. It is very unusual and unique, but it is a very nice primer, so I'm glad to be using that again. I have not used that in a while. And it also picked the Benefit, the Professional Pore Primer. I may have used this once. It is a full tube. My light seems awful bright, doesn't it? Next would be my foundations, and it chose the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Normal to Oily Foundation. And this is in the shade 220 Natural Beige. And my son actually picked this foundation out for me, and he did a good job. And that's been a while. We'll see if it still matches me. And I forgot to pick powder foundation, which I don't know what I was thinking, so I quickly went back through and picked a couple of those. I picked this Milani. This is the Even Touch powdered foundation, and this is in 02 Fresco, and I do have this on. It is a very nice powdered foundation, and I noticed when I was using it that it kind of reminds me of the Fenty powder foundation, which is one of my all-time favorites. So I have that. And then I also picked the Juvia's Place. This is Nicaragua. It says it's made in Italy. This is a very pretty foundation as well. Very nice. This might be, it doesn't look like it because my light is too bright. It might be a little too dark for me. I think I've only used that once, but we shall find out. For my bronzers, it picked the LYS No Limits bronzer. This is a cream bronzer, and it is in the shade Harmony, and I have used this a couple of times since I got it, and love it, so I'm happy about that. And it also picked this Lower East Side Skyscraper bronzer. This as well as a cream bronzer. And I used this when I got it, and it did fine. I got this in a BoxyCharm box in January, I believe. And then I did not get a powder foundation bronzer, so I went back and picked out this Marc Jacobs, being that everybody is talking about Marc Jacobs bringing their products back. This is one of my favorites. This is Tantric Omega Bronze. I love this bronzer, and I've had this for a little while, so I will be using that. For setting powder, the Wheel of Death picked the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder. This is in translucent. Love this. It's been very well loved. I have not used it for a while. Looking forward to that. It also picked this Pure Cosmetics Perfect HD, Picture Perfect HD powder. And I don't think I've used this. Have I even opened it? It's got the little... I have not. I have not opened it at all. So that will be a first time using that. It's a shame to open it. I have so many others. But the Wheel of Death has spoken, and so I must abide by what she said. Face palettes. This is the Ace Beauté Ultimate Sculpt Face Palette. And I have only swatched this. I haven't really used it. I don't know where that gouge came from that's in there. I'm not sure that it looks a little warm for me, but we're going to try it out. It also picked the Pure Fair Light Face Palette. This has bronzer, powder, and blush, and a highlighter. Very pretty palette. I have never used this, and I believe that I got this as well in a BoxyCharm. Either Boxy or Ipsy. I don't remember which one. The spreadsheet knows. And it also chose this Honkin' Ophir palette. This is the On The Glow palette. Glow Like You Mean It. I have a blue dot on here, so I have used this, but not much. And I mean, this is mostly highlighters. There is some bronzer in there and a little blush. So we'll play with it and see. Ophir has phenomenal highlighters. The other highlighter that it picked was this ZC highlighter. I have never used this one either, and it is a beautiful, beautiful highlighter. I love the embossing. So pretty. I only chose one, whatever this is, concealer. I don't use a lot of concealer. And this looks a little yellow. It's light pale, but it looks a little yellow for me. And I don't know that I've ever used this. I picked this up on sale at Walmart. Walmart, as my mother called it. So we'll see how that does. I have a hair, y'all. I have a hair. What else have I got? Setting spray. I just got this LYS Natural Finish Skin Loyalty setting spray, and it has skincare properties to it. It says blur, mattify, and set. So I just left this on my desk because I had just gotten it and used it just a couple of times, and I want to keep using that. And then the wheel picked Laura Geller's Spackle Mist for me, and this is Restore, and it says coconut water. And I may have used, I don't see a blue dot, but I might have used this before I started dotting everything. For my blush, we have the Natasha Denona Cupid Cheek Duo. This is a cream blush and a highlighter, and that blush is very glowy. I'm pretty sure that all of the blushes that were chosen are glowy. I also have the Pat McGrath Labs. This is Desert Orchid. This is a beautiful blush, but it as well is very glowy. And Milani, this is a Luminoso 05 Baked Powder Blush. And this as well is a very glowy blush with a cute little brush in there. I have used this. Well, I've used all three of these blushes. And I left this Mud Masky Glam Care Glowy Illuminating Blush Drops, because why not? If I'm gonna glow, let's glow it on up. I was actually impressed with this when I swatched it, when I got it in my Chic box, I think. Chic Beauty box is what I got that in. And then I have eye primer. This is Primed for the Night. This is by Moonlit. Now, I'm not sure that I've ever used that. And I also have Marabella eyeshadow primer that I'm going to use. This one seems to have just a little bit of pigment to it. I prefer to have a little bit of pigment in my eye primers. But I do have a flesh colored eyeshadow that I set it with, so it should be fine. This one, even though it looks like it has some pigment to it, comes out to be very clear. And then for mascara, I have the Oma Beauty Salute to the Sun mascara. Has a very nice brush on it. And then she also picked this Undone Beauty. This is in the shade Very Dark Black. And then when I was pulling that out, I saw that I had an Undone Beauty eyelash primer. It has a curved brush on it, so I thought I would pull that out. I don't normally do primers, although I like them. We'll do the eyeshadow palettes last. For lipstick, and I have way too much. I do this every time. I pick too many, and then I don't use them because I get in a rush in the morning trying to get ready for work, and I don't put my lipstick on. I don't know, y'all. She picked the Laura Geller. This is East Village Orchid, and this is a very... I don't know that that's my color, but maybe shade. We'll see. And then she didn't pick it, but I did. Because I just got these Beauty for Certain. This is a matte lipstick, and this is a lip gloss. Is that a lip gloss? It's Coral, which is funny because this has a name, but this has a number. This is number 24. And this gloss, which I'm not much of a glossy person, my gosh, it smells so good. And it is so thick and creamy. It is very nice. Let's swatchy number 24, shall we? I love that one. And they're little. I like how little they are because, you know, how long does it take to go through a whole lipstick? Liquid lipstick at that. And then she picked this Ofra, which I just got this as well. Long lasting liquid lipstick. And this is in Hot Mess Mama. Guess this is the collab that Ofra did with Hot Mess Mama. And I don't know about that shade. I'm going to give it a try, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that shade. And then we have an LYS because, I mean, how many lipsticks do I need? I just got these two, and I think that this is, what is this? Soulful? I can't see it because the writing on the end of it is tiny, but this is so pretty. Such a pretty shade. Very creamy. It's that one right there. And I like how small these are. And the packaging is really nice too. Very nice. So along with that, I have a lip liner. This is Soulful. Then this is not Soulful. I can't remember what shade this is. I don't know where my paper went to. And she chose this Foira Makeup Coconut Lip Liner, which is that right there, which is actually not too bad. I'm not unhappy about that. And I had her pick some perfume. This is Sol de Janeiro Anita, which is really nice. I always, by habit, use the same perfume over and over again. And I have a lot of nice perfumes. That shelf right there is full of perfumes. And also I have this little indigo, is this a roller bottle? Yep, it's a little roller bottle. This is Nest. And oh my gosh, Nest smells so good if you've never tried any Nest products. Alright, let's get into the eyeshadow palettes. She picked this little e.l.f. palette for me. This is Pumpkin Pie, and I have not used this. I have only swatched one of the shades, and it is such a cute little palette. How fall is that? Such a cute palette. I'm looking forward to using that one. She also picked the C Color Unisex 3 palette. These are really nice palettes, and they are extremely affordable. That is so pretty. I have used this palette a couple of times and I really did like it. This as well is a very nice fall looking palette. And I'm ready for fall. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready. I'm done with the heat. I'm done with the busy season. I am ready for it to be cold and dark and I can snuggle up at home in my blankie. I'm ready. Y'all ready? Bonfires, all things. I'm ready. Anyway. This is a really pretty palette. She picked the Pat McGrath Labs. This is the Celestial Nirvana, Celestial Odyssey. I think the other palette, big palette like this that she came out with was Celestial Nirvana. And I have used this palette a couple of times. This as well is a very pretty palette. I am probably going to depot. She also picked the ABH Norvina Volume 1, which is a very, very colorful palette. I don't know. I may have used this once. This is a very pretty palette, very colorful. So I'm looking forward to finally getting some use out of that. And then I also have all of my single shadows in a spreadsheet. And so I had her pick 10. No, I had her pick 9 and I picked one of them. And this is the color story that she chose for me. And as you can see, I have panned that. That is one of my all-time favorite shades. I love that shade. I use it quite frequently. And she picked it knowing she was trying her best to make me happy. So I will be using this. This is a mixture of Sydney Grace and Makeup Geek. And then I have one Davina in there. Which one is that? That is Pink Flare. And I have had those Davina shadows. And I don't think that I have used them at all. Look at that. I have a video where I swatched all of those Davina shadows. They're amazing. She also picked this MAC. This is Amber Lights. And it is a very pretty shade, and I am not opposed to using it at all. But I wish it wasn't in this little compact because, you know, I mean, if you bought a bunch of these, you wouldn't just have 10 of them sitting around and opening them all up. And I tried to get it out and I can't get it out, so I may try to use that. But instead, I did substitute it with this shade here because it kind of looked a little bit like that. And that shade is, that's a Sydney Grace shade, and that is Mascot. And y'all, look at that blue. Let's swatch this blue. That is Sydney Grace Celestial Bloom. So pretty. So pretty. I believe that has a little bit of a shift to it. It looks blue, but purple, and I don't know. That's very, very pretty shade. Is that it? That's it. That's all of my Shop My Stash for the month of September. I'm super excited. New things to try, old things to try again. That's super exciting. And I'm excited about creating a look with some of my single shadows. So, y'all hang out. Check on Instagram. Maybe this time I can actually post some looks on Instagram. If I can get my butt up out the bed early enough in the morning. Just trying to be a morning person, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. Before you go, make sure you show that like button some love. And as always, I'd like to remind you that makeup is meant to enhance the natural beauty that you already are, and we are all beautiful at any age and any size. Find something to be grateful for today. Pull your makeup out and play with it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.